Do you want more control over your life? More freedom? More confidence? Do you want to set your own rules and steer your own ship? Are you sick and tired of the 9-to-5 grind that's eating away at you and robbing you of all your time, barely getting you by? How about a new way? A new side hustle, side income you can use now to do things like pay off debt, buy a new car, wipe away credit card bills and student loans, remodel your home, take exotic vacations, fancier dates, buy your friends a round of drinks, send a nice gift to your family. How about an emergency fund or even a down payment for a house? And so much more. Welcome to the Flipping Ninja Podcast, where we teach you how to take charge of your life and make your own money flipping things on your spare time. Sound complicated? We'll cover it all, from what to buy, where to look, marketing and selling tactics that create demand, and bring you top dollar, research, pricing, creating ads that sell like crazy, and even powerful principles on the inner game of success. So if the idea of being your own boss is exciting, you're in the right place. Now, here's your host, the world's leading authority on flipping, AJ, from theflippingninja.com, unplugged and unleashed.
What's up, guys? This is AJ, the Flipping Ninja, here to show you how to make $400 to $800 a day flipping things on your spare time. This podcast episode is a continuation of the last podcast episode. So this is part 2 of that episode, which was how to make $400 to $800 per day flipping random stuff just on your spare time. Okay, so just to give you a quick summary, flipping is basically when you go and buy something low, whether it's from a thrift store or from a garage sale, or whether it's an electronic or a musical instrument, or you go on Craigslist or eBay and you buy something low, you get a good deal on it, you turn it around and sell it for a profit, right? So this series of podcast episodes that I'm doing is just literally me in the car driving off the cuff, trying to get you to that point where you can make $400 to $800 per day, flipping things, right? So what did we talk about before? We kind of, in the previous episode, we kind of summarized what flipping was, how to, kind of gave it a bird's eye view of how you can get started and start making money no matter what experience levels you're at, no matter what, how experienced you are, no matter how inexperienced you are. Anybody who, if you live on a planet that has other human beings on it, right? So there's a lot of people out there who ask, what if I've never flipped anything in my life? I don't know how to get started. I'm not smart. I'm not intelligent. I'm an introvert. Look, none of that matters, okay? That's the beauty about this buying and reselling business, okay? Even if you have zero experience, you don't have to be some genius to get started, right? It's a very low cost of entry, so anyone can learn how to do this. And the best part of all of this is that you start making money right away once you jump into it. It's not like you have to go through some 6-month training or 1-year training, like, you go to college, get a 4-year college degree, then make the money. It's like, no, you start virtually from day one, right? So I know when I first started flipping things, at first, yeah, I made small profits. I made $40, $50 here and there. But after a short period of time, just a couple weeks, I reached the point where I was making $500 a month on the side, flipping things. And to tell you the truth, it wasn't even $500 per month. It was more like $500 within a couple days. And then I just got lazy and didn't do it again for the rest of the month, right? So back to how to get started, how to do this. So the first thing is you want to identify, basically the way I break it down is there's 4 steps, okay? There's 4 steps, there's 4 secrets. There's 4 secrets to making $400 to $800 per day flipping things with just a couple hours per week, okay? 4 secrets, okay? Secret number 1 is what I call the where, what, how. Okay, the where, what, how is essentially, where do you buy things? Where do you buy things so that you can flip them for a profit? right? The what is, what do you buy? What do you buy? Like, what types of stuff? How do you know when you buy something? How do you know if it's the right thing? How do you know that what you're buying is going to make you money versus take your money, right? Or, how do you know if this bowling ball that you found at a thrift store is going to actually make you money, right? So that's the what. The where, what, how. That's the what. The how is, how are you going to buy it? Are you going to buy it with, money? Are you going to buy it with in another creative way? Now, that's a little, the how portion of it is a little on the advanced side, so you don't have to worry too much about what that means exactly. But for now, that's the first secret, is you have to know the where, what I call the where, what, how. Where do you go to buy stuff? What do you buy? How do you buy them? How do you get them? How do you acquire them, right? And part of the how portion of that is, you don't always have to buy things in order to turn around and sell them for a profit. So what do I mean by that? That means that when I say how do you acquire an item, it could be something for free. It could be, there's a family who's moving out and you just, stumbled upon their ad on Craigslist where it's like everything must go, and you literally go there and pick up a bunch of free stuff. It could be an estate sale. It could be the free section of Craigslist. So there's so many different, directions you can take as far as the how portion of things, right? How do you get items? Do you order them from China? I mean, that's one option. Do you jump on Craigslist and get them that way? Do you jump on an app? Do you go on OfferUp? Should you go to garage sales? Even worth it? So that's the first, secret number one is the where, what, how. You have to know those things in order to be successful. You have to know your targets. Okay, that's really what the name of this secret should be, is know your targets. The where, what, how. So know your targets. You have to know exactly what you're targeting. You have to know exactly where to go. You have to know exactly where to buy or what to buy. Items that are going to for sure make you a profit, right? So that is the where, what, how. Know your targets, right? So so that's the first secret. The second secret number 2, to making $400 to $800 per day. And yes, I totally get it. Most people who simply hear the title of this, how to make $400 to $800 a day flipping things, they're gonna be like, that's crazy. There's no way you can make $400 to $800 a day flipping things. You're hyping it up. You're making it all sound, the fact is, I was hesitant on even calling it that, $400 to $800 per day flipping, because I knew that most people would not believe that. Okay, until you experience it yourself, until you flip your first couple items and you're holding the cash in your hand, most people won't be able to believe it. So the first thing is, you obviously have to be open to the idea. You have to believe that it's possible, right? There's thousands of people, millions of people doing this all the time. So that's the first thing. You have to be open to the idea, right? So moving forward, secret number 2 is what I call the power of the pen. Now, what do I mean by the power of the pen? The power of the pen is learning how to write ads that sell like crazy. The words you use when you write your ads to sell something, right? That's everything. That's the difference between night and day. That's the difference between life and death. Okay, you have to learn, you have to know how to use the power of the pen. Because if you can write an ad, if you can create an ad, if you can write words, if you can assemble words, the right words, that's the difference between making $50 on an item that you buy and sell and making $500 on an item that you buy and sell. So if there's 2 people Person A and person B, they're selling the same identical item. Let's say it was a digital piano or a keyboard, right? The same exact digital piano that they bought at, a thrift store or on Craigslist or at a garage sale. They bought the same piano, two people. Person A sold it for $50. He couldn't get any more than that. And if he tried to sell it for more, he was struggling, right? I mean, weeks would pass. He wouldn't get a lot of interest, right? Where eventually he just settled for $50. While person B had that same piano. He had that same digital keyboard, except he sold it for $500 just days later. Now, what's the difference between the two? Is it that person B has some, magical superpowers over person A? Is it that person B is smarter? No, it's simply that's the type of difference that using the right words in your ad description can make. So that's the secret, the second secret to making a lot of money flipping things. Ridiculous amounts of money flipping things, right? And I'm talking on single item flips. I'm not just talking, in general, big picture. I'm talking, imagine on every single item, if you knew this, imagine if you wrote all of your ads for all your items, that's the difference between making, let's say even if you were able to charge, $30 more for your item, what kind of difference? It might not sound like a lot, $30 extra because of your ad, the ad you wrote. It might not sound like a lot, but what would that $30 mean if you sold 10 items per week, or if you flipped 10 items per week? What would an additional $30 per sale do? So 10 items a week. If you sold 10 items per week and you made an extra $30 on it just because your ad was better, that's $300 extra in your pocket per week, just because you took a couple minutes to use better words. You knew how to assemble the ad description in a way that gets people to buy, right? It gets them emotionally engaged. And that's a small difference, $30, right? Usually, like in the keyboard example, typically the types of profits you would make are way more than $30. I mean, it's funny. So one of the things I love to flip is furniture, right? So like dressers, couches, chairs, desks, china cabinets, console tables, stuff like that, right? So I remember one of my friends, she showed me one of her ads, right? And it was for this beautiful matching black wood desk with a matching little black chair. So it was kind of like antique-y / painted. So it was a black desk with a black chair. And she showed me her ad on Facebook Marketplace for it. And she posted, she was asking $150 for it, right? She was asking $150 for that desk set. And I asked her, I stopped and I'm like, wait, you sold it, why are you selling it for $150? And she's like, well, what? Isn't that good? I bought it for like, $40 or something, or like $50. And I'm like, and it just kind of made me laugh, because typically for a desk like that, I would be the one who would buy it for $150, right? I mean, obviously if I saw it for $40 or $50, I would get it. But it's funny because she posted it for $150 because that's the most that she was able to get for it. Whereas me, because I'm familiar with how to write ads that sell and how to really maximize, profits, which is what I'm trying to teach you, I would actually be the one who, if I saw that posted for $150, I would actually buy that same desk for $150. Why? Because I know that I can sell it for $400, $500, right? I know I can sell it for that much. I know that my profit margin is that big. And why do I know that? It's because it all comes down to how I'm going to present that desk, how I'm going to take pictures of that desk, which brings me to secret number 3, which is the money shot technique. How to take photos that emotionally stun, engage, captivate and compel your buyers. So the next secret to making $400 to $800 per day flipping things is you have to know how to take the right photos. Not just photos of the item that are pretty, not just nice photos. You have to know how to take photos. You have to know how to take pictures that sell, okay, that sell and capture attention. Now there's an art, okay, there's an art and skill for doing this, okay? And there's a very specific process and way that I take photos that lets me, sell one-off items for super massive profits. I mean, think about yourself for a sec. Imagine if you were on a dating site. Imagine if you were on Match.com, or imagine if you were on Tinder or whatever online dating sites they have these days. What kind of photos would you have of yourself? Obviously, you would have a different variety of pictures of you. You would have maybe different angles, different environments, right? And more importantly, what photo would you have as your main display picture? What photo would you have of yourself? I mean, if you just stopped and thought about it right now, you'd probably be thinking, okay, well, what's my favorite picture of me? What's the picture that I look best in? You'd probably choose your best photo, where you look the best to you, right? Your best photo as your main profile picture. So similarly, when we take our pictures, we want to make sure that we have what I call the money shot technique. Okay, the money shot. Now, the money shot is that one picture, that one epic display profile pic of your item that just completely grabs people. They see it in the sea of ads, in the sea of items on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace, even if they're not looking for the item, even if they're not looking for that chair, or even if they're not looking for that piece of jewelry, or even if they're not looking for that piece of furniture or electronic or whatever it is, even if they're not looking for it, that picture is so compelling that they have to click it. It captures them, it grabs them, they have to click on it so that they can see it. They just want, even if it's just curiosity, right? It sparks their curiosity. They're like, damn, that is a nice watch. Or wow, look at this awesome, that is a cool angle of that smartphone. I've never seen it like that, right? So that is the whole purpose of what we call the money shot. The money shot is that one special photo that just grabs people, and it's your main, quote unquote, profile pic. It's your signature photo for that item. So there's an art to taking pictures that sell, right? I mean, the main things to keep in mind is that, look, when you're selling something, when you're flipping something, people are going to see the item before they buy it. Usually online, or usually on an app, or Facebook Marketplace, or eBay, or Craigslist. They're going to see it first. And they're going to see it. What sense are they using? They're using their sense of sight. Their sense of sight. They're looking at it visually with their eyes. So your job when you take your photos of your items is you have to tap into their emotional brain. You have to tap into their senses and take your pictures in such a way that totally gets them aroused and seduced. I mean, it sounds weird, but it's like, if you actually want to successfully and easily make $400 to $800 a day flipping things, this is how you do it. It's these small little nuances, it's these small things that are significant. And the funny thing is they seem small, but they are extremely significant. I mean, they're the difference. How would you feel if you bought something for $50 and you were only able to sell it for, $100? You made $50 profit. That's still pretty good. That's not bad. You made $50, but how would you feel if someone else took the same item that you got, they bought it for $50 just like you, and they turned around and sold it for $450? How would that make you feel? Right? So it's like, you're still going to do well if you don't follow these things that I'm trying to teach you. You're still going to do okay if you don't learn these secrets. You're still going to make money, but how much money are you going to make? How much money are you going to make for the time that you're going to spend doing it? Now, I don't know about you, but I would rather make more money in less time so that I can have that time, that freedom to be able to do other things I want to do, right? I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about, freedom? For me, the reason I got into flipping, it started out with, I just wanted to make a couple $100 on the side, right? I was living alone in my own apartment. I was just trying to keep up with the bills, and I just wanted to make a couple $100. But later, once I got into it and learned all these things and, saw how easy and simple it was to make way more than that with not a lot of effort if you follow the right process, I was hooked. And then at that point, I used it for bigger things. I used it to come up with a down payment to buy my first house, which I turned into a rental property. I used it to buy cool cars. Like, I used it to buy a BMW. I used it to buy a Porsche. I used it to buy a Mercedes, right? Now, I'm not talking brand new, like a brand new Mercedes and a brand new, $60,000 BMW or Porsche. No, I bought used ones, but they were still really nice. I mean, they were obviously, I didn't go out and make $60,000 flipping things and blow it all on a luxury car. But my Porsche, for example, I bought it for $9,000 cash. And $9,000 cash for a car, I mean, for me, a guy who's not like super rich, that was a pretty good feeling. And it wasn't the type of purchase where where it was pushing it and I felt like, oh, well, how am I going to pay the bills if I do this? Like, I was comfortably able to buy it and feel good about it, right? So I'm sure you feel the same way, that at the end of the day, all this flipping stuff is about freedom and about being able to do the things that you want to do, whether that's take a vacation or just get rid of all your credit card debt. I don't care what it is, but that's the whole point. Now, I'm not one of those guys who, and same with my brand and my website, The Flipping Ninja, I honestly don't care about like the sport or the culture of flipping in itself. Like, I'm not one of those guys, there's a lot of people online who will just like create these vlogs and, they're just obsessed with like picking and flipping. And like, I think there's even a TV show on it where it's like they're documenting all the finds and they're like garage sailing. Honestly, I don't really care about that stuff. I just simply want to be able to get into a side hustle that is flexible, is profitable, gives me control. You get a lot of control. You're your own boss, and something that I can just do on the spare time. I don't need a ton of attention on like, oh, here's what I'm doing, here's the latest flip. I mean, obviously I showcase those things to my students so they can see and learn so that they can do it. But I'm not crazy about like the sport of it or like the culture. It's like, so that's why when I create these podcasts and this content for you guys, I simply just want to I want to be able to take you from zero to little experience, from making a little money flipping to actually making significant amounts of money doing this on your spare time. Totally low key, just something that you do. And there's a lot of people who listen to my stuff and read my stuff who are already experienced, but they usually come and there's usually some tactic or some secret or some tip or trick that they're like, oh my God, because of that one thing you told me to do, I followed it, I tried it, and everything changed. I was making $1,000 a month flipping. Now I'm at $2,300. Now I'm making $2,300 a month because of that. So like I said, it doesn't matter your experience level, whether you're experienced or not. My main goal, like I said, it's not to get you into some like crazy, like sporty type culture-ish, like, yeah, flipping, yeah, this is let's go garage sailing. It's like, no, yeah, we obviously we do all of that because that's the nature of what it is. We buy and sell, but it's more simply about helping you make money and helping you do this so that you can actually move on and use that money to do things that you want to do things that you enjoy doing, to, you know, use that money with your family to experience new things. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So when I'm back to what I was saying before about the secrets, the third secret was the money shot technique, is taking photos that sell. You have to learn this if you want to get to that point where you're making a lot of money in a little time, right? So that's secret number 3. Now, let's move on to the next secret. Secret number 4 is called... Hey guys, I hate to interrupt this podcast episode, but let's wrap it up for now. I think that's enough for one episode, and we will move on to part 3. The next secret number 4, we're going to be covering in part 3. It is extremely important that you get it, so stay tuned, and when you're ready, move on to part 3 out of 3.
This has been the Flipping Ninja Podcast. From the crew at theflippingninja.com, we believe that all Americans should be able to make their own money without having to rely on a job. If you're ready to ditch the 9-to-5, visit theflippingninja.com and join our Flipping Ninja Blueprint Masterclass, where you'll discover how to earn a reliable side income of $1,000 to $5,000 a month flipping things with just 5 to 10 hours a week. See, we're on a mission to help 100,000 people earn $1,000 a month on the side flipping things. Working professionals, students, parents, men, women, artists, techies, entrepreneurs, introverts, total newbies, you name it. Be a part of the revolution and blast out of living paycheck to paycheck once and for all at www.theflippingninja.com. Until next time, remember, you're just one flip away from freedom. Want to make a difference? If you enjoyed today's show, please pay it forward and head over to iTunes. Give us a rating and leave a review so others just like you can benefit and take charge of their financial future.